Hello guys, welcome back to Coding Cafe. My name is Mohammed Ali, and in this tutorial, as I mentioned in the previous tutorial also, that is whenever the user click on the profile image, we will allow a user basically to set the profile picture and same is for the cover page. So yeah, let's just do that quickly. So the ID for our profile picture is profile image settings. So copy this ID, come back to the settings fragment, and here what we're gonna do is here in our on create view, which is inside this, we can say view dot paste that ID, which is profile image settings dot set on click listener, set a click listener on it, and if a user click on it, we are going to send the user to the mobile phone gallery from where the user will pick an image. So let's create a function by the name pick image. We will now also create this function. It is just the calling. So create that function. Here you can see it has been created. Now the next thing is, and by the way, before we proceed, the same thing we will do for the cover. Okay, so copy the first of all, copy this, click listener, paste that and remove this profile settings ID, and if a user click on this one, which is our cover image, we will execute the same code, which is pick image. Okay, in case of that, the user will also pick a image. So anyways, in order to send the user to the mobile phone gallery, we can say, well, intent equals to intent dot type equals intent dot action, intent dot get action content, start activity for result, as the intent to it, and the second thing is need is the request code. So let's just create a variable which will be request code. Let's initialize this with 438. So here we can pass that request code, and now it will basically send the user to the mobile phone gallery. As you know that we specify the type of the file, which is image, so it will only select image. I mean, it will display image, which simply means to send the user to the mobile phone gallery. From there the user will select image. Now we have to get that image, that data, image data basically. So for that we have a built-in function which is by the name on activity result, which is this one. So we can say that if request code is equal to the request code and result code is equals become equals to, okay, the activity dot result, okay, and if the data dot data not equals to null, which means if any image has been selected, then what we're gonna do, make sure to add the non-asserted call here, and then let's just quickly create a variable image URI. So private image URI is of type URI. Let's initialize this with a null. We will also need a reference to the Firebase storage, where basically we will put all our images, all the cover images and all these things. So let's just create that also. So we can say storage ref is of type storage reference, storage reference. Let's initialize this with a null also, and then in here in our on create view, what we are going to do is, after this user reference, we can just say that storage reference equals to Firebase storage dot get instance dot dot child, and we are going to create a folder inside our Firebase storage bucket, which will be by the name, let's give it name as user images. So by this name of folder which we create in our Firebase storage, where basically we will have all the profile images and all the cover images. So come down, and here first of all we have to get the image URI. I mean, we have to get that data basically by using this data. So we object, so we can say data, so it will basically pass the image to this image URI variable. And if you want, you can display a toast message just to tell the user that is your image has been now uploading. So you can say dot make context com, and we can say let's just display uploading toast dot length long dot show. And once it is done, let's create another function by the name upload image, which will upload it to the Firebase storage and to the Firebase real-time database. So let's just create this upload image to database, create function, and it has been created here. So now here we can say that first of all, let's display a progress dialog just to tell the user that is it has been uploading, so that the user can at least know what is going on. So we can say progress bar progress dialog context. So let's just say that progress bar dot set message. So the message will be, we can just tell the user that his image is uploading, is wet. That's it. And if you want, you can also display the title, progress bar dot title, which is set title, sorry. Okay, so here you can pass the title, but I will not use the title, I will just use the message anyways. So progress bar dot show, and then we can say let's add here a condition which will check if image URI is not equals to null. So we have our reference to the folder which is user images inside the Firebase storage, but the important thing is that there will be, let's say, millions of users if you upload this application on the Google Play Store. So we have to save and store each and every image for the profile and cover by using a unique ID which will not be irrepressible. That is, let's say I upload image and the other user upload other image with the same name, so it will replace my image. I mean, this thing will not happen. So for that, what we're going to do, we can just say that let's create a reference which will be by the name file ref equals storage reference dot child. So in order to make it unique, we will get the time on which the user will upload that image. So we will basically, you can say, by using the time, we are creating a unique key, you can say, which will not be repressible. So in order to get the current time, we can say system dot current, sorry, system small c, it is current time release dot to string, and let's save this, add this concatenation sign, and let's add the extension by default to it as jpg. Now whatever the I mean image type is, we are just saving this, like this will be the name of the image, and then this thing will just add the dot jpg to every image that we upload, no matter whatever the type of the image is, whether it is JPEG or .png or anything. So it will just tag that image as .jpg, and we are storing it by this name at our inside our folder, which is by the name user images. So anyways, that's it. Now the next thing is, you can say upload task, storage task. So upload task equals to file reference dot put file, and pass the image URI to it. So upload task dot continue with task continuation, and before this curly bracket we can say that upload task dot task snapshot comma task URI, and then the next here we can set task. So if the task is successful, if task dot is successful, let's just say if the task is not successful, then we are going to through the exception. So we can say task dot exception dot let throw it, and then after this we can return the URL that we will get from our Firebase storage. So we can say file reference dot download URL. So in this way we get the URL, and sorry, it is not here. If the task is not successful, it will throw the exception, or you can say the error, and after the if condition it will just return the download URL, and then we can add the add-on complete listener. So at the time when it is uploaded successfully, the next thing is basically to store this URL inside the Firebase real-time database. So we can say that if task is successful, then what we are going to do is we are going to create a variable by the name download URL equals task dot result MURI equals to download dot to string. Instead of calling it this, we can just say URL. Now this is for the cover and profile images both. Now we have to differentiate between the cover image and the profile image. Okay, so whenever the user click on profile image, it will just select, user will select any image obviously, but in case of cover we have to add something which will check the cover, that is whether the user is going to change the cover image or the profile image. So for that, let's create here at the top a string type variable basically. So we can create it by the name, and we can give it name as cover checker, and it will be of type string. And let's initialize this with a null. And then down here, when the user click on the cover image, then what we're going to do is first of we can just simply say that cover checker, we will update the value of this to cover, which simply means that the user clicked on the cover image view, this image view. So now the user is going to change the cover image. So yeah, that's it. Now the next thing is to add a validation here also. So here we can simply say if cover checker become equals to cover, then we will save the image as a cover image, otherwise we will save the image as a profile image. So we can just simply create a hash map equals to hash map string any. So for the cover, we will save this as cover. Since you know that in our Firebase database we are storing the cover image by the name cover, so we must use the same names which we have. For the cover it is cover, and for the profile it is the profile key name, or you can say the subchild name. So anyways, we can now pass the URL variable which contain the URL, or you can say download URL for that image. So you can say that reference user reference dot update child and pass the map to it, and make sure to add the non-asserted call here. And just to make it differentiate, let's just give it name as map cover img. Also make sure to change this map cover img, and after that make sure to change the cover checker to null. And now the next thing is to do the same thing for the profile, so you can just copy this thing and paste that here, and then instead of calling it map cover image, we can give it name as map profile image. Make sure to replace this, and then for the profile we have this profile child inside the database. Hope you remember that. You can also check the previous video tutorials. And by the way, I will also show the database and the Firebase storage once we test the application. So update children map profile image, and once it is done, the next thing is to dismiss the progress bar dot dismiss. So yeah, that's it for all about, for setting the profile image and the cover image inside the, for saving it basically inside the Firebase storage and Firebase real-time database. And the retrieving and displaying part we have already done in the previous video tutorial, which you can see here, this one. Hope you have watched the previous video tutorial. So now the next thing is basically come here to the manifest, Android manifest, and here we need to add the permissions. So we can simply add the uses permission, and the first one is the internet. Make sure to close this. Now the next permission is basically for reading the external storage and writing the external storage. So we can just simply say uses permission, and you can just type write external storage, this one. And then the next thing is uses permission, which is for reading the external storage, this one. So yeah, that's it. Now let's just test the application. So the app is running now successfully, and let's go to the settings. And first of all, let's change the cover image. So let's just choose an image. Uploading, image is uploading. Here you can see it has been updated for the cover image. And if I show you the storage, and by the way, also let's check this, okay? And also let's change the profile image quickly. So the profile image is also updating, and here you can see it has been uploaded successfully. And here you can see the folder has been created by the name user images. And now you can see this. This is the profile image, and this is the cover image. So yeah, that is really incredible. That is really nice. So that's it for this video. Till now we have completed the settings, account settings. Okay, one thing which is left, it let's also complete this in this video tutorial. I forgot to complete also this thing in this video tutorial, so let's just complete this one, which is basically if a user click on any this button, then it will basically pop up a dialog box where a user will write the username for their Facebook, for their Instagram, and the user can also set the website URL. So for that, let's just come here quickly to the Endo Studio, and then the here inside our on create view, what we are going to do is let's just quickly copy paste this and remove this function from here, and also the ID, and come back to the settings fragment settings. And now we have to just quickly copy the IDs of our these buttons. First one is set Facebook, so copy this ID, come back, paste that here, and we are going to call here a function which we will create now, which will be set social links. And let's just create this function. Now this is our function. Now before we proceed, we have to add a checker that will check between these things. So we can say, sorry, let's just come here at the top, and here we need to create another string type variable which will check these button status. So we can say that social checker. Okay, initialize with null, and then here we can say that social check, and we will update this. If a user click on the Facebook button, it means the user is going to set this link for the Facebook, and the same we will do for the others. So first of all, make sure to do it for this. I mean, give it the same IDs for the Instagram. We have to say view.this, and it will be Instagram, and for the website it will be website, and also what is the ID for that. The ID is set underscore website, and that's it. So once the user click on any of these buttons, we are going to display a dialog box. So for that we can build alert dialog dot builder equals to alert dialog dot builder context or dot style dot theme app is this one, app compare day night dialog alert. So social checker becomes equals to website, then what we are going to do in that case, we are going to set the title for our dialog box, or you can say for our builder dot title, and we can just tell the user that is, I mean the title will be right URL. Else, I mean in case of Facebook or Instagram, we can just tell the user that is right username, their Facebook username and Instagram username. So yeah, that's it. Now let's just add an edit text to our this dialog box. So we can just say give it name as edit text, edit, pass the context to it. After this, if you want, you can also set the hint for our, let me just tell you, for our this edit text, okay, which is by the name edit text, which will appear in our dialog box. So just copy paste these things, okay, down here. So in case of website, the hint will be, we can just say that edit text dot hint. So the hint will be, you can just tell the user that is, for example, www.google.com. So let's say if my website is like, let's say www.codingcafe.com or instagram.com, whatever your website URL is. So I mean, this is just a hint to tell the user, okay. So in this format, the user has to write the website URL in the edit text. You will now see it when we test the application. Anyways, now for the Facebook and other things, we will just ask the user, I mean we will give the hint to the user, that is, for example, the user just need to provide his username or her username. Like in my case, my Instagram is ALIZDB438, and my first Facebook username is by the same name, which is ALIZDB438. Okay, this is just a hint. Okay, the user must provide the username in this format. So whatever username your is, that is, let's say Catherine43 is your username, or let's say your username is John438. So the user will provide the username in this format, and the website URL the user will provide like this in this format. So anyways, the next thing is we can just say builder dot set view and pass the edit text to it. And next thing is we can say builder dot set positive. So it will be, we will have the first button will be create, comma, dialog interface dot on click listener. It will not be round brackets but curly brackets, and here we have to pass the dialog interface, this one, dialog comma which, and this will be represents our dialog interface. This will be the position. So the next important thing is basically to get the text from our this edit text, whatever the user write in it. Okay, we have to get that. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a variable by the name str equals edit text dot text dot to string, and let's add validation on it, which will simply checks that if str is null, then we have to tell the user, hey, please write something. I mean, write your name or write your website URL. So just for the time saving, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy something which is this toast message. So copy it, come back here and paste that, and we can just tell the user, please write something, which means either write your URL or your username if you are setting the social links for the Facebook and Instagram. In case of website, the user will write the URL. So anyways, else, which means if the user writes something, then we have to save it inside the database. So for that, let's create a function by the name create, or instead of that, you can give it name as save social link function, and we have to pass the str to it, which contains the string, or you can say the name or the URL. So let's just create function. Here it is. And then before we proceed, one important thing is to add also a cancel button here. So we can say that builder dot set negative button, or we can just, for the time saving, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy paste this button. Okay, just copy it, come down here and paste that here, and make sure to add this ending round bracket and this curly brace. Sorry, first of all we have to put the curly brace and then this round bracket at the end. Here you can see it just like this, and instead of calling it create button, it will be cancel. So if a user click on it, we are going to cancel the dialog dot cancel, and then after this we can just display it. So we can say builder dot show. So this is our this function. Here you can see it. Set social links. And now once it is done, now let's just save all this data. I mean the function which you are calling here. Okay, so we have to create a reference, but by the way we have already created a reference here, which is by the name user reference. So we'll use the same reference, and then here we can say we need to create a hash quickly. So I'm going to copy this quickly from here. Just copy this. Let's just paste that here, and now instead of calling it map cover image, we can give it name as map social. Map social. And we have, by the way, we have to add a checker here. And one thing is, let's just comment out this, and first we have to check when. We will use the when statement, which works just like if else conditions. Okay, a ladder of if else conditions, if else if else if. So anyways, first of all we have to pass our social checker here. So if this is equals to Facebook, if the social checker is equals to Facebook, then what we are going to do, so in that case we are going to do it as map social, and for the Facebook we have child by the name Facebook, and we have to pass it in the format. Please make sure to use the same format. Okay, https colon slash m.facebook.com slash dollar, and here we need to pass our variable, which is by the way, which we are passing to this function as a parameter, which is by the name str in my case. Okay, so I will just pass that here str, which contain the username of that person. And if this is equals to the Instagram, then in that case we have to save this child for the Instagram. Yeah, and in case of website, we have to do something, and it is basically to remove this thing, because the website we are tagging from the user in the format which starts from www. Okay, so it will be like https colon double colon dollar, and then the let's say the user type www dot alizeb.com. Okay, let's say this is the URL, so it will store in the database in that format. So yeah, that's it. Now after this when statement, we are going to cut this and paste that here. So we are going to save it inside the database. So you can say user reference dot update children and pass this map social to it. So yeah, that's it. And if you want, then you can add the add-on complete listener on it in order to tell the feedback to the user. So we can say if task is successful, then just display a toast message to the user. So let's just copy this toast message, and we can say that is saved successfully, or you can say updated successfully. So that's it. Now let's just run the application and test it. So the app is running now successfully. Let's also come back to our database and let's just check this. So for the Facebook, just I'm going to give it my username, since my username is lizeb438 for the Facebook. Oh, where is the button for update? Sorry, we have commit a mistake here and our button is not visible. So let's just quickly check this, what's going on here. And the reason for that is basically we forgot to change this to set negative button in case of our this cancel button. So let's just run the application again. So the app is running now successfully, and now let's just go to the settings, and now let's check this. First of all, for the Facebook, my username is lizeb438. Let's click on create, and here you can see it has been updated successfully. Now updated successfully toast message. Now let me change my Instagram. So create, here you can see it has been updated successfully. Now let's just type the the URL for this. So I'm going to, just for testing purposes, let's say www.youtube.com, or you can give any, whatever your website URL is, you can type it like in this format. Okay, like www.google.com or whatever your website URL is. This is just an example for the testing purposes. Here you can see it. So yeah, it is working really nice. Now you can change the cover picture, and you can also set your profile picture just by clicking on it. So yeah, that's it for this video, and see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.